Scoopy Radio here in New York City at Black Blocks Franchising. Bumped into a familiar face. Baron Davis joins us. Brother, what's going on?
What's up, big dog?
Making
what's
it happen.
Scoopy?
I haven't seen you
since
Atlanta.
Black Symposium.
Yes, sir.
We back at it.
We back at it like we never left.
Man, that means we got to keep doing this. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like if we're gonna keep running into each other, I gotta be featured more on the show. You feel me?
It's only right. So I got a couple questions for you. Number
Okay.
one, as an LA guy, what was your reaction when you saw that Paul George took his talents from the Clippers to the Sixers?
You know, it hurt. Because I work with the Clippers. I do some announcing for the Clippers and the Baller Vision. So I watched them a lot. Paul George is my dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's my brother first. And so I'm always player first. I think for the Clippers, who knows? Sometimes it could be a blessing in disguise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it forces you now to actually play through Kawhi,
Sure.
and James Harden. So you have two superstars, and then you picked up some good players in free agency, and I think they signed a sleeper in free agency, which is Kevin Porter Jr.
Kevin Porter Jr. is that
He
work.
can go.
So I'm curious. You was an LA kid, UCLA through and through. Paul George on this podcast talked about the Clippers being the B team. Here's my question for you. I know you do announcing with the Clippers, and I'll be fair and balanced, but growing up as a kid in LA, were you more of a Lakers guy or more of a Clippers guy?
Always Lakers for life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? LA is the Lakers. I grew up on Magic Johnson, Nick Van Exel. I would say the Clippers was always number two, but the Clippers were always cool. Like Pooh Richardson, UCLA legend, played there. So I had, special access sometimes. But the Lakers, is synonymous for LA, that purple and gold. And, Dr. Buss laid the foundation.
He did.
I think for this new foundation and for this new, these new kids, the Clippers got a chance because they've been successful, super successful, not championship successful, but over the last 10 years, they've been highly competitive and building teams that are considered, preseason contenders. And then the Lakers only have one championship in those 10 years. So, you can say the Clippers are gaining ground, but it's bigger than that when it comes to LA, because people got Laker tattoos, you know what I mean? They walking around with Kobe tattoos. So I think the Clippers are, they have an opportunity to better their brand now going to the Intuit Dome and really establish themselves. But, they're, as far as now, they are going to always be number two, you know what I mean? And go Dodgers, Lakers, you know what I mean? Kings, and then Rams. So it's a lot of competition. It's a lot of competition, but, as far as basketball, Lakers is synonymous with LA.
Learn me something, as my late grandmother would say. You talked about Nick the Quick, Nick Van Exel. He won number 9 with the Lakers. Bronny James wears number 9 with the Los Angeles Lakers. Have you got a chance to watch him during the summer league?
Yeah.
And where do you think the adjustment will be for him once preseason and once the season starts?
I mean, I always say summer league is the hardest thing to do because you're just getting thrown into the fire. You're practicing hard, you're working hard. You don't really know how much work you need to put in because you're so anxious and so giddy at getting to the league. You know what I mean? And then you're tired all the time. You're playing every day, and everybody on the team is trying to impress somebody. So you can't really play a game or figure out your game. The goal for summer league is to go and have fun, make mistakes. So you can't really judge people too much on like bad performances, flow performances, because basketball is a rhythm. And then to answer your Bronny question, it's going to get a lot harder. It's going to get a lot harder. Summer league is like, that's like scratching the surface. You know what I mean? When you get in the training camp, when you get into the season, he's going to get better. Being on the team where they got player development, they got great players, your dad's a great player, he's going to get better. He obviously shows that he has the athleticism and the talent. Now it's up to him to figure out who he's going to be in the league, right? It's all about identity. So if he can identify himself, as Bronny James and this is what I do, he's going to be successful.
No, that's significant. He went to USC, you went to UCLA, but nonetheless, basketball knows basketball. That being said, you look across the league, another one of your former teams, the Golden State Warriors, lost Klay Thompson. You being a former Warrior, what was your reaction when you saw that?
That was heartbreaking because you always want to see them dudes stay together for what they accomplished, and you want, someone like Klay Thompson to play with one team. The goal in the NBA is to always play with one team for your entire career. And for those three guys, Klay, Steph, Draymond, to see them go from babies to grown men to now veterans, it was kind of heartbreaking. But at the same time, I'm always player fan first, and so whatever's best for Klay, and I think he's going to get an opportunity to start in Dallas, play with two potent scorers that are going to open up a lot of opportunity, and he's going to get a lot of wide open shots.
Do you think Klay Thompson in Dallas will be more like Reggie Miller in Indiana towards the end of his career, or more like '99 where you had Al Harrington and Jonathan Bender, or do you think he'll be more Ray Allen in Miami?
Yeah, I think he's going to be Klay Thompson, right? I think he has an opportunity to put up big numbers. When you look at that team and a lot of wide open shots that position was getting, everybody who played the three position in Dallas this year.
P.J. Washington?
P.J. Washington, he plays some three, plays some four. He got a lot of corner threes. You look at, Tim Hardaway Jr., he was getting a lot of threes. He was getting a lot of looks. Now you're thinking about Klay Thompson in that space. Klay Thompson is somebody you can run plays for, you can run pin down. He's also someone that can get his own shot. So I feel like the pressure of him, there was a big pressure on him being the counterpart and the savior to Steph when he faced a lot of injuries. Now I think a new fresh start gives him an opportunity to have a clean slate. And a player like that with a clean slate, determined to prove himself, with those two guys on the wing, and then you got P.J. Washington and other great glue guys for him, it just takes unnecessary attention from him, where he gets to go and implement, what he brings to the table.
Baron, I'm curious. Darren Williams recently talked about how he wished the one player that he could have been teammates with was Kobe Bryant. Taking a look back at your career, are there any players that you wish you were teammates with that you weren't?
Of course, everybody wants to play with Shaq.
Why? For you, why?
Shaq is a cheat code, or Tim Duncan, cheat code. For a point guard, you always want to play with a dominant big man, because that's where you stable, especially in my era. That was you got the Tim Duncans, you got the Dirks, you got, all these big guys were super potent. And defensively, Tim Duncan was, he's just one of my all-time favorites. Shaquille O'Neal, one of the most dominant centers ever. So that would be, for me, it would make my job easy.
So are we talking you in Golden State, you with the Clippers, you with Cleveland, or you in New York? Would you have been most formidable with Shaq during your career?
Either one. Shaq any day.
That's fair.
He's going to take all the attention. And then I get to, work the lane, dish off, make his job easy. So, Shaquille O'Neal would be.
When you and I talked a few months ago in Atlanta, we talked about your time at UCLA. We talked about the late Bill Walton, your relationship. You also talked about working out with Magic Johnson and also Kobe Bryant spending a lot of time with that team. For those who are not privy to that conversation, what was it like having Magic Johnson in UCLA?
They played every year in the summertime, and so as a kid, you get to sneak in the gym and watch pros train and get ready for the season. So that was amazing to just be there all the time. Then to earn your way into Magic Johnson speaking to you. It was just another notch under the belt. It was if I can get attention from Magic, then that means I'm on my way. And, he's always been, a big brother, a mentor, an ally, but also someone who saw talent in me way before everyone else.
Last question for you. When you look at, many people talk about basketball and Mount Rushmore. For you, who is in your Mount Rushmore of businessmen, of former players?
I would say Magic. I would say Michael Jordan, because he is the business and the brand. Steve Young. Steve Young, he does a hell of a job.
Okay.
He was probably that pretty fine.
Okay.
I would say Jose Bautista. Another one.
Okay.
And then probably Shaquille O'Neal. That's how I would round it out.
Okay. All right. Well, we're at an event, and I know we got a lot of moving parts. This is part one. We got to finish this conversation and talk more.
Let's do it.
Looking forward to seeing what you have with your platform, brother.
My God.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.